I don't know if we can shoot in this wind. This move's probably not gonna work with a gimbal.
That was Miko. Test it. Here we go. Happening.
Yo, Darius Britt here, and this is day 3 of Shooting Not Cool. I only used a gimbal today. It was interesting. Let's get into it. We're meeting Kate out in the park at 9, and we're gonna do some shooting. No tripod today, it's all Moza Air. Both of us have crazy schedules. She's the lead in a play. I'm working on 3 videos, but we've got about a 3-hour window to get a sequence knocked out. The good thing, there's no tripod today. So it's all gonna be on the gimbal, which is good. Goodson sent me this gimbal a while back, and I haven't used it much for a couple of reasons. Small gimbals like this typically aren't good for narrative filmmaking. Let me explain. You can't mount other accessories like external monitors, battery packs, follow focus, etc. They're not very precise. It's hard to get consistent, repeatable motions. This is why you see more sliders and dollies used in narrative work. If I were shooting a travel film or a music video, this isn't as much of a problem, but I'm not. However, today I am making an exception. I am about to shoot in a public place with a lot of people. Walking around with a slider and a tripod is not really gonna cut it. So I wanna keep my footprint small and I wanna move fast. I'm gonna have to make this work. So I'm setting up the Moza Air Cross, and my Arca Swiss plate here does not fit in the gimbal carriage. This little Arca Swiss adapter here doesn't get tight enough. I'm gonna have to go back to the Manfrotto plate. After the shoot, I figured out what it was. The Arca Swiss adapter has to go in from the back. There really needs to be some sort of marking for this. Apparently a lot of people have trouble with this. I'm not the only one. So if you have one and you haven't figured it out yet, Merry Christmas.
New position, get my rock on. Old friends wanna get they talk on. Making excuses for why I made it, cause they hate to see me spot on. I just narrowed down my targets right until I'm locked on. I've never needed to buy a necklace to get some neck while I'm checking my set list. No second guessing, you're not a contestant.
We are shooting everything today in 60 frames per second slow motion. This is a subjective sequence. We're supposed to be inside of a character's head. I really want to capture that surreal quality. Shooting in slow motion is going to give us that. But this is the moment that you realize maybe I should be concerned about this. Okay. It can be very subtle. How I'm going to cut it together is going to be big enough.
Yeah, it would. It'll get big enough.
Yeah. Today, I am improvising everything. I only really need 3 or 4 core shots to make this sequence work. I need a shot showing where she is. I need a shot showing what she's doing. I need a shot showing what she's thinking about. This is more of a cutaway. And the 4th shot I need is a close-up of her eyes. This is gonna link all of this together. It really doesn't matter how I get these shots as long as I get them. This frees me up to scout around, have fun, and build the story out as I go. We are shooting out in the daylight, so we will need our ND filter to get the best shots with the depth of field that we want. I apologize in advance. It was a crazy windy day. My main focus is on shooting, not on vlogging. So my GoPros, they don't have windscreens on them, etc. It is what it is. See, you're backlit. Take a step forward. I can do a little of both, actually. I can probably get away with shooting some of this now while you're backlit. So what we are gonna do is go back and get that gaff tape. So this is nice here. I kind of like that we're close to the water. So we're gonna go ahead and record that. Now I'm recording all this in 60 frames per second as well, so if I want to slow it down later, I can. Oh no, I meant for me, I was getting. The good thing is if I don't like any of these shots, I can always come back and get it later. No, it's a film, like a movie, a narrative story, short film. We do a range of them. But we're kind of racing against sunlight right now, and I don't mean to be short. So we're gonna put the load-bearing leg toward this way now and kick this leg out.
It's windy. We just lost the case for that. We can get it in a second.
I can get it. Ah. Are you seeing this? So I just knocked my gimbal over. more time. Oh, yeah, there we go. Oh wow, 82, 85, win, 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 win. Awesome. This is like the day I had though, so it's not like I had a whole lot of options. Today was the only day we had available, so it's either shoot something today or wait another 2 weeks. Not interested in waiting. I just want to get this thing going. We'll shoot it out, and if we gotta redo it, we'll redo it. We're losing the bounce. I'm over it.
For a list of all the gear I use, check the description.
As you can see, it's really bright outside, there's glare everywhere, and I'm looking at a small screen. I pretty much can't see the screen. Focusing manually is not an option, grabbing exposure, everything becomes more of a challenge. What I'm doing to grab focus, I am switching to auto, grabbing the focus, and then switching back over to manual so that everything stays locked in. Back here, pan around. Oh, that's kind of cool. Pass, you can come by.
Shooting in public places can be annoying. You don't have control over anything. But on the flip side, if you play your cards right, you can get some free extras.
You're welcome. The scene is about fear and anxiety. She's afraid that her man might be chatting it up with another woman. Anyone can see how that might be very concerning. The way that we want to capture this is by utilizing the power of the default face. This is a default face. See how my face is completely relaxed? There's nothing going on here. The audience can project anything they want onto a default face because there's nothing there. It's open for interpretation. If I can combine the default face with the coolest shop effect, I can communicate all that fear and anxiety through the cut. Show a default face, cut away to something unsettling like her boyfriend texting another woman. Done. You don't want to use the default face in every single shot. You still want to mix it up so you have options in the edit. But most of my shots, I already know it's going to be about that default face.
This shot is straight up blowout city. This is what happens when you can barely see the screen. It's small gimbal movements like this one that are the toughest to nail. You just gotta keep doing takes until you think you got something useful. Remember, you're only gonna need a small portion of the shot. I'm zoomed all the way into 42 millimeters here. I wanna get as much lens compression as I can. I went for something a little more abstract here. The water's in focus, she's not. Could be interesting.
Whenever I go telephoto with this lens, I need to slow down the pan and tilt speed.
In the edit, you never know what's gonna work, so I just try to get shots that make me feel something. Like this shot here, there's no metaphoric reason for the shot. I was just hunting for a frame and found it, and it feels nice. The water is peaceful, the stillness, the hands, it feels contemplative. Same thing here. The shot makes me feel contemplative, stillness. It's also a little abstract, which Makes it interesting.
I don't know what it is about water that just adds production value.
I shot this as a possible ending to the park sequence. We start on the back of her head and then we just pan off to the open water, fade into something else. But I didn't like how any of these shots came out.
Sponsor. This video is sponsored by Storyblocks Audio. When you're fleshing out the sound design for your films, it's nice to have a sound library to turn to so you're not re-recording all those little nitnoid sounds. You can hunt down some of those missing sound effects with Storyblocks Audio. I got all of the sound effects and most of the music for the short film from Storyblocks. Using sound library saves me a lot of time. If you don't have a place to pick up audio or sound bites on the fly, Storyblocks Audio might be a good option for you. With a membership to Storyblocks Audio, you get unlimited downloads from studio quality audio clips, loops, music tracks, and sound effects. All the content is royalty-free for commercial and personal use, so if you want to use it in your YouTube projects, good to go. And they're always adding new content to the site, so there's always something new to check out. If you guys want to know more about Storyblocks Audio, click the link in the description section. You can't really have a good introspective sequence without close-ups of the eyes. Because the eyes are the windows to the soul, right? With a good close-up, you can almost feel someone thinking. Remember, this is one of the 4 things I need for this sequence to work.
This shot would have looked so much better with bounce. If I had that bounce, there would be a catch light. Would have made those eyes pop. There's more shadow than I would like, but it's not bad. It just could have been better. I do like the split lighting though. Right down the center of the face, it matches the tone of the scene. And the hair blowing in the wind, beautiful. I had Kate take about 10 steps away from the lake and turn toward the sun. This is gonna read like it's somewhere else in the park completely. I love cheating shots. I'm on 42 millimeters and I tried to do a push in, didn't work. The field of view is too narrow. I'm at 25 millimeters here. The push-ins are a little better. I didn't love this shot. Compared to the other shots, this is probably one of the weakest in the bunch.
Break to the right, sway to the left.
In order to get this shot, I have the gimbal set to Inception mode. This mode is dope. It's one of my favorite modes, but it's rarely useful for narrative filmmaking because it's so stylized. This shot looked great slowed down, but it just didn't work in the edit. It's too dramatic. Did not fit the piece. The one-eyed close-up. Classic shot. I was not leaving today without it. And here we've got a natural catch light. Sunlight is bouncing off of the ground and the grass up into her eyes, making them pop. This is my second favorite shot of her eyes. The shot's a little shaky, but I plan on using warp stabilizer to clean everything up. This shot came out really well. I ended up using it.
So we got everything we can get by this little lake. I'm not really sure how I'm gonna cut that together. I have like 2 or 3 shots that I know are gonna work. And then there's like 7 shots that I'm just getting while I can get it out here. My staging area is my car because we can't leave any of the stuff out there. So whenever we need something, we gotta go all the way back to the car to get it.
We found this really cool, dope, like hill. It's like fishing, right? You kind of go to different locations, see what spots work, and if you're shooting on the fly, you're like, this looks great. I see a couple shots, we'll shoot it right there. And we've got like events going on. Like there's some, I don't know, it looks like a birthday over there, like a suicide awareness thing over here. So the park was super busy earlier today. We're gonna do one shot up this hill. I like the way these trees kind of fold here. Power walk in front of me up the hill. Take another step to your left. So I'm using the all lock mode on this to lock on the horizon and lock the yaw and pitch. So that way when she walks in, we've just got a steady frame. And action. I kind of like it because you're coming up the hill and then as you come down the other side, we reveal the tints and everything. Come back. you know what? We'll get you stretching over on top of that hill. Yeah, let's do that.
How cool would it be to get an extreme wide shot of this hill with Kate silhouetted smack dab in the middle of it?
Yep, and then right in the center, right in front of me.
What I like about this shot, the tree line and the grassy hill form a green halo around Kate. The hill gives us a clean horizon line. We've got Kate silhouetted against the sky, and the trees blowing in the wind gives the shot a lot of energy.
Jog in place. Back about 2 feet, right in the middle of this path right here. We probably got it. Yeah, just hit whatever stretches you're gonna do and
I'm gonna take a series of shots from different angles, but I'm gonna track the same direction in each shot around Kate. This way, when you cut the shots together, we still get one consistent motion. Kate's gonna do whatever she wants. She doesn't need me to give her direction on how to stretch. She's all over it.
We got it.
All that's left is the walk in the park. I'm just gonna do a few different follow shots of Kate in different places and I'm gonna cut them together. This is where the gimbal's gonna shine. Follow shots don't have to look perfect. Nobody cares if there's a little organic movement in there, especially if it's in slow motion.
You'll start the top of the shot in front of me, here.
This park is about 4 blocks away from an Air Force base. It's a good thing I don't need the audio.
Take a slight step to your right. Hello. Come back, reset.
After that first take, I realized I don't want to be this far away from the action. I'm gonna get a little closer.
Action.
Because there's no Z-axis stabilization in the gimbal, you get a little like a bob when you walk. I'm bending my knees slightly and I'm rolling off my heels onto my toes in order to minimize some of that bobbing.
And action. All right. Cut there. All right, we'll move to the next spot. Just enough clearance. Spare batteries. Contacts down so that I know that this battery's dead. If I see the contacts are up, I know that that battery's fully charged. Boom. Is that the train? I gotta catch my train. Hold on right quick. Totally wasn't funny. It wasn't funny at all.
I'm gonna follow Kate along the lakeside for a while. There's gonna be a lot of people there. I'm planning on it. I'm trying to catch a few free extras.
I shot in the reverse direction so we can get 2 shots in one trip. Work smarter, not harder. Hashtag booyah!
Action. What's that? Oh, you can curve around him.
I called action and Kate didn't move because this kid was about to run into the shot. I came across this little moment later on in post and I thought it was interesting. Her back is to us, she's just standing there, super still. It totally reads as someone lost in thought. And then in runs this cute little kid. Perfect timing. I had to put it in.
All right, we'll take it back the other way, and then I'll record you going the other way. Cool. All right, stand by. Action. Whew. The camera itself is not that heavy, but when you add the camera, little sticks, the stabilizer, for a prolonged period of time, like try holding the baby for a while. Whew. All right, we're gonna find 1 or 2 more spots and then we're good. We'll just walk in this direction.
Okay.
Maybe we'll find something over here worth doing. When I say action, just walk straight that way. Action. All right, and come back. Oh, this time I'll have you jog across. Reverse it. All right, we're gonna do 1 more. We'll jog this way again. And action when you're ready. I'm wearing Kate out with this jogging.
And Kate, if you're watching this, yo, my bad. I had you do all that jogging. I didn't use any of those takes.
Nobody's gonna work with me after this.
I might get a walking shot just going right through this little path here. This would be sort of like from Kate's POV as she starts power walking off somewhere down there. Maybe I'll use it in the edit, maybe I won't. So we're done for the day. Kate's got to play at 7 tonight. She's got to do some stuff for that. All right, later, Kate.
Despite all of those setbacks, we got everything we needed. That's the end of day 3. Stay tuned for day 4. Links to all the gear I used are below. If you want to see the short film, link is below. If you want to see all the videos in this Shooting Not Cool from start to finish series, I will also link to a playlist below. I do believe that's all that I got for you, Deeper Out.